Hey everybody, final thoughts time for Tameri. But before I get to that, please remember, folks, this is a sponsored preview. And with that out of the way, I'll be honest, folks. When the publisher first contacted me about covering this, I took one look and said, oh, look at that pyramid. Look at those marbles. I want to play that. It's just going to be so much fun. And it is, folks. It is a blast. Even in its rough and ready prototype form, where the pyramid doesn't have all its cool art, and the funnel on the top is actually supposed to be transparent, as are the river channels down below. Even in its rough and ready form, just the fact that every round you start out by dropping 6 more marbles in there based on the prevailing weather currents, some of which you can predict and some of which is unpredictable. And then you just start dropping them and see where the marbles roll. And then you got to do your cleanup. Oh, this area just became more fertile. And oh, what do you know? This sun and this water cancel each other out. So, the area seems to be the same. But finally, if I was in a waterlogged area for quite a while, this sun is starting to burn off some of the water over there. Thank heavens, maybe I'm closer to being able to harvest. It is a blast. It is a lot of fun. It has a nice thematic grounding. For these ancient Egyptians, the water is very unpredictable. But, if there's just going to be a lot of sun or rain building up in one place, it is inevitable that will get burned off. Waterlogged, depending on which way it is. And it is a blast. It was everything I hoped it would be. Jen and I have to take turns because we both want to be the one to throw this stuff in there. And it is a blast. And just make sure every round of this 12-round game, and I'll come back to that in a second, just starts off with a fun factor. As you see how this almost like pachinko-like machine, decides our fate for us. But it doesn't really, because the game gives us so much control over these marbles. If we've got the money, if we've got the cards that let us manipulate things, we can turn the weather to our benefit. And so I love everything about this. So anyway, this is what pulled me in, and it delivered. But this is not actually the secret sauce of the game. What's really amazing about this game is the card play. And it's not like we haven't seen this kind of combination of stuff before. Hey, when you play cards, if you can play them subsequently so that the glyphs line up, you get to do double actions instead of single actions. Hey, depending on what card you play, you're going to go first or maybe second or third in player turn order, which means you come in last and can't get the land you want to grab or the other cards you want to draft for future link joining. We've seen all these things. And then not just that. I mean, this is a worker placement game too. And we've certainly seen other worker placements where, hey, I put my workers on the board and then they stay there. They do not come back at the end of every round. They'll stay there for the whole game. And the thing is, if I need to then pivot and say, I need to do more mercantile actions, which one of my farmers am I going to pull out of the fields? And maybe I pull this one out of the field because it's too waterlogged and I'll never be able to harvest those fruits. And I bring them over here so they can become a merchant, and that's how I'll get the fruit that I need, gosh darn it, or whatever it might be. And making those tough choices about worker management, but eventually being able to hire more workers so you've got more opportunities. Yeah, I mean, these are a bunch of ideas that work fantastically here. But while I've seen a lot of these ideas elsewhere, I've never seen them come together in such a wonderfully tight and dramatic and tension-filled, fast-paced package. As I mentioned it before, folks, I think more than anything else, what really makes Tameri come out on top for me and Jen is just 12 turns. 12 turns, and the game is over. And but during that play, you are bombarded with really interesting, agonizing decisions. Just saying, okay, if I can only activate one of these 2 actions, which one's it going to be? Maybe I shouldn't play this. Maybe I should play it face down. Pay a buck so that I can do anything I want. Forget what the card says. I'll do anything I want. And I'll be able to set up my card for the next round to be a doubler. But I might need that money to respond to the shifting weather. Or I might need that money when I go build sphinxes and I want to turn that money into extra bonuses. There's so much you can do with all these different cards. And then you start getting priest actions as well that give you more choices that let you take control of your fate. And if you're not focusing on all that, you're also focusing on buildings. They're either giving you instant bonuses, ongoing powers, or in-game scoring opportunities, or combinations of most. And over the course of the game, even only over 12 rounds, 3 seasons, 4 rounds in each season, 12 rounds in total, So basically, like the 12 months of this game, you're constantly getting access to better, more powerful cards to play on future turns. But you don't get to keep those cards. Once you've used that super souped up triple action card to best effect, it's gone. So when are you going to use this? When is it going to be the best possible opportunity for you? There is so much to balance and so much to juggle. And then on top of all of that, so much fun factor with this pyramid. I am very, very impressed by Tameri. I really gotta say. Yes, there are some prototype issues, which the developers know about. You know, some of the contrast on the cards and the tiles needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's a couple of tricky spots in the rules, but I mean, I think I did a pretty good job giving you a sense of what it feels like to play. Folks, always watch the Klingon subtitles turned on in case I did make any mistakes here or there. I mean, I know I did. I always do. But I'm not here to teach you how to play the game. I'm just here to let you know what the game feels like so you can decide if it's right for you and yours. I can definitely say this is right for me and Jen because this continues a trend that I am hoping to see more and more publishers take to heart. The idea of a rich, robust, meaty Euro with a lot of really interesting decisions from start to finish that can be done in just over an hour. I'm thinking about Zapotec. I'm thinking about what are some other ones that have come out recently? Galileo Project. Games that do not sacrifice, that I get the sense of a big, wonderful experience like an Agricola or a Zulkin or any T-Series game for that matter, but I get it done in half the time. I'm in, I'm out. It does not overstay its welcome because in a board game world where top tier Euros, for a while now, it seems like publishers have been shifting more and more and more towards the formula that was trailblazed by design superstar Vita Lasarda of big, epic Euros that take hours and hours and have tons of rules but are so incredibly thematically grounded so that you feel like, wow, this took me all afternoon, but it was an amazing experience. And so Vita Lasarda started that kind of stuff. Mind Clash really built on it with Tricerian and Anachrony, and these days more and more it often feels like it's getting harder to find the kind of games that Jen and I love that we could actually finish in under 2 hours. Tameri is one of those games, and I am so thankful for it. And if all of that weren't enough, the toy factor of this, especially once it gets its final, non-prototype stuff, and it just looks like it's a big pyramid because everything else is translucent. I mean, folks, you can check out the Game Found page. Hit that eye in the top right corner screen. Follow links down in the show notes to get a sense for what the final components look like. I'm very excited for this, and I gotta say, the more I get to play these fast, epic but snappy Euros that have a lot of thematic grounding and have great presentation, and hey, why not a really fun toy factor too, the more excited I am about the future of board gaming. Another recent one from Danny Garcia, Windmill Valley, right back up there somewhere, right over there, just off screen. More of this, board game publishers, and thank you for bringing it to us with Tameri. And folks, that was the preview. Thanks very much for watching. Have a very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.